What's up, family? You're back for another edition of Maddie's Rap with author Matt D. Talford. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Now, for all of my returning subscribers, my day ones, as they say, y'all already know. When you see me with this on, you know what we're talking about. You know what we're talking about. We're talking about spiritual warfare. Now, I know that there are a lot of you who actually like to see me go with these off-the-cuff type videos where I'm not really teaching anything or breaking anything down. But today's one of those days. So y'all dig in and get ready. Now, I have to tell you that I have been deeply moved by hearing some of the local accounts of persons who survived. And y'all know I'm not real big on that word survival. I don't know why. I've never really been, I guess because of the physical condition I had to deal with some 12 years ago now. But was it 12 years ago? Yeah, some 12 years ago. I didn't like that. People say, wow, you're a survivor, and I don't know, man. I've always said like surviving is what you do when you're holding on and waiting for hope or waiting for help. You're holding out hope, waiting for help. Coming through something and refusing to give up and just fighting, that to me is a warrior. That is a warrior. But in the case of what happened with the people out in the Lahaina village in Maui, that was survival. And I thank God for those who were able to come through it with their lives and anything that they were able to carry with their hands. A lot of people didn't come through it. And so I was deeply moved by listening to some of the accounts of what happened and just hearing some of the other things that are going on in the world and meditating and going deep within and searching for answers as to why this stuff is happening at such an accelerated pace right now. People who know me personally know that I care about people. I mean, and with regards to this uniform, it's not really a uniform. I mean, it's the jacket. I'm not in uniform, so to speak. This is the BDU jacket that I wore when I was in the military, and this was my last unit, the 2nd Armored Division. But for those of you who have heard this before, you know that when you see this expert field medical badge, you know what I'm about. I'm about helping. I'm about saving lives. I'm about preserving the fighting strength. In fact, let me turn my phone off. It's dinging. I don't want any interruptions. Y'all pardon me for just a minute. So, sorry about that. Now, what I want to do is I want to get away from this introduction and I want to play a song that inspires me, a song that has inspired me from the first time I heard it. Now, y'all know y'all been following me for a while. Do not take this song I'm about to play and put a false label on me. I've told y'all once, I've told you many times. I'm not religious. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. I'm a spiritual being here on this planet on assignment. I'm a spiritual being that came here, like most of us, to grow soul muscle, okay? To grow soul muscle. This earth experience, I don't care how somebody looks on social media. I don't care how they look on television. Nobody has it easy, all right? And if it's easy, they work their ass off to make it easy, okay? So it looks easy, but you don't see the work that went into them getting to where they are. Now, I told you this is off the cuff. And I'm just going in, not random topics, because I got 3 things in particular that I want to discuss briefly, but I want to start with this song. If you do not want to listen to this song, then you can skip ahead. I will put a time marker in the description box that will allow you to skip past this song. But this particular song was released in 1998 as a track on the album Available to You, which was produced by Reverend Milton Brunson and the Thompson Community Singers, okay? This song is called He's Keeping Me. And so I want those of you who live out in Hawaii, those of you who are going through any type of struggle around the world, I want you to, those of you who are in Niger, those of you who are anywhere on the African continent, those of you who are right here in America, I don't want to be one of these people who are always talking about, go help these people over here, go help these people over there. In fact, I heard a disgusting statistic about the amount of money that is going to the Maui survivors, the Lahaina survivors, versus what is being sent overseas to fund a war effort. I'm not even going to talk about that. It's disgusting. Charity begins at home. That's written in scripture, okay? I don't even want to talk about that. But as I said, for those of us who are right here in America struggling, if you are struggling to make ends meet in America, this song is for you. And I want you to know that by the end of this video, I want you to leave here with the knowledge, not just hope. I want you to leave with the knowledge that this whole ish, all right, I'm going to try to keep it clean because I know I got family that are older than me that watch the previous generation ahead of me that watch my videos, and I try to keep my passion curbed a little bit, just enough. Sometimes it leaks out, all right? Sometimes I can't contain it. I got to let it go. But tonight, I want you guys to know, and when I say tonight, it is Wednesday, August 23rd, 2023, and it is roughly a little past 7 p.m. Eastern time, all right? I want those of you watching this video to know that this whole issue is about to flip, regardless of what they tell you, regardless of what is happening in the media, all right? Proverbs 26 and 27, that is a, those are words I live by. He who diggeth a pit will fall in it, and he who rolls a stone is going to roll back on him. That's out there for somebody, because there's somebody out there digging pits, and there's somebody out there rolling stones. And you need to understand that Proverbs 26 and 27 is universal law, so you're getting it back. Listen, if you're struggling, family, this video is for you, all right? And this song is for you. If you don't want to hear it, click the link in the description box, the time marker in the description box to skip past it. But this song is He's Keeping Me. And I want you to hear this song, be inspired, and know that this situation is about to flip. And I'm going to show you tonight why that is and why this stuff is going on the way it is. Why all of this stuff you're seeing right now with masks, they talking about the return of mask mandates, and they're talking about new whack scenes for new strands of, I don't even want to, y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to you if you didn't fall for the okie doke the first time. Shout out to you if you feel like, all right, you caught me the sucker punch the first time, but not the second time. Shout out to you if you're not gonna fall for the okie doke this time, all right? Shout out to you if you're not going to fall for the okie doke this time. Why did I mention Proverbs 26 and 27? He who digs a pit will fall in it. Because the funny thing is, the so-called elites have been pushing fear for years, right? Pushing fear to control the population. Well, now it's them that are afraid. They're afraid. And that is why they're ramping up all of this ish and trying to push it out as quickly and as concentrated as they possibly can. Because the truth is, they're afraid. The 1% is afraid right now. And you know why they're afraid? They're afraid. See, they haven't been afraid of the 99% for years, okay? For decades, for millennia. Now, well, maybe not millennia, but for centuries at least. They haven't been afraid of the 99% because they've been controlling them with fear and Age of Pisces type stuff, toxic masculine energy. And when I say toxic masculine energy, I'm not talking about men who are passionate about something and they get angry and throw a football helmet or throw a temper tantrum. I'm talking about spiritual, because this is spiritual warfare. Things begin in spirit and they manifest in the flesh. This is spiritual warfare. So I'm talking about toxic masculine energy spiritually. All right? They've been controlling with toxic masculine energy. They've been controlling through fear. And now the earth, the feminine energy of this feminine organism that we live on called Earth is rising. And they're afraid now because they're like, you know what? They're not just afraid of losing power. They're afraid of the pendulum swinging the other way. Y'all watch my video, Universal Balance Sheets. When you pull that pendulum, if you're pulling it in the direction of goodness, then goodness is going to come back to you multiple times before that thing settles down. If you're pulling it in the direction of wickedness, it's going to come back to you several times before it slows down. So they're afraid right now because They're trying to figure out how they're going to escape karma. Nobody escapes karma. Nobody escapes karma. Y'all listen to this song. I didn't mean for this introduction to go this long, but again, if you do not want to hear this song, then feel free to find the time marker in the description box to skip on to the rest of this video. All right? Y'all check this song out. All right, family. I would typically, before I play this song, I want to tell you that I would typically put photos with this and give you something to look at on the screen. But with everything that is going on, I do not want to add to the photos that would cover what's happening in the world today and align with that song. While this song would help you to raise those vibrations, those photographs I would try to arrange them from sad in the beginning to hopeful in the middle to triumphant at the end. But I want to do something different this time, y'all, because what I want us to do is I want us to begin to learn how to exercise our spiritual muscle. And what I mean by that is our ability to create change with our thought power. So as you listen to this song, He's Keeping Me, by Reverend Milton Brunson and the late Reverend Milton Brunson and the Thompson Community Singers, I want you to first consider what is going on in the world. And then as the words are playing in your ear and you're reading the lyrics on the screen, I want you to imagine the world as you wish to see it. All right? I want you to imagine a high vibrational dwelling place that is your earth home. I want you to imagine that. Because guess what? If enough people are imagining that while listening to this song, then we'll create it. And we're working on it right now. But let's put this thing into hyper mode, y'all. Let's bring heaven. Everybody's talking about they want to die and go to heaven. Y'all, we can bring heaven to earth, which is where it was originally supposed to be anyway. You know, forget about this whole home in the sky. Everybody comes from a home in the sky. If you were just supposed to just stay in bliss, y'all watch some of those near-death experience videos. If you were just supposed to stay in a state of bliss, there would be no reason to incarnate. There'd be no reason for it. So, as you listen to the words of this song and look at the lyrics on the screen, I want you to first acknowledge what is happening in the world, acknowledge what's going on in the earth, and then imagine the world as you wish to see it. Let's go.
Living in the last days, men have turned their backs and changed their ways. Sin running rapid all over the
family, let's go ahead and go in. Let's stop playing with this thing and go ahead and go in. All right. I got 3 topics that I want to talk about briefly, and then we can get the heck up out of here and go get some rest if you're watching this at the time that it's premiering, okay? Because I'm going to premiere this one at nighttime. I want to make sure people on the West Coast are already home and settled in. So this is premiering. You're watching this. It's probably after 10 o'clock p.m. on Eastern time, okay? So let's get right to it. And I'll put an article up on the screen here. You guys, if you've been paying attention, and y'all know I don't watch the news, but I do get there's some prominent. When I say prominent, they're prominent to me. They're stars to me. All right. I don't care who the world says are stars. I choose my own stars. I choose my own people that I like that inspire me. I don't wait for the world to say, hey, here's who should inspire you. I'm not inspired by who the media tells me to be inspired by. I'm not inspired by the people that the media puts up on a pedestal per se, unless there is something about them that resonates with me and my life, okay? Otherwise, it's just like, okay, that's a regular person. Why the star is the guy next door who goes down the block and helps the senior citizen by cutting her grass and trimming her lawn so she doesn't have to do it. And she would be out there doing it. But he says, you know what? I know you like to work in your flower garden. You work on your flowers. I got your lawn, you know? Those are my heroes. I'm like, man, you know what? That's all right there. That is okay. That is okay. That's what I'm talking about. My heroes are those who do things for others without asking for anything in return. Those are people that inspire me. But anyway, let me get on to what I'm talking about, okay? This particular, there are a couple of people that I follow or people that I subscribe to their YouTube channels, and they cover topics that are trending. So that is how I get what's going on. I don't watch CNN. I don't watch MSNBC. I don't watch Fox News or whatever. Every now and then I'll catch a clip. If it's like a 2-3 minute clip on YouTube or something and the title is intriguing, I might watch it. But I don't sit and watch the news for 30 minutes at a time like I did back in the day, or an hour at a time like I did. That stuff is all low vibrational, so I don't take it in anymore. I guard my spiritual channels, my eyes and my ears. But anyway, what I've heard is that there are plans to ramp back up the protocols from 2020/2021 with regards to masks, with regards to vaccines, with regards to how you handle yourself out in public based on media reports that there's some new strains of a thing coming out of a place, all right? And I'm not going to name those places or that thing because y'all are smart enough, intelligent enough to know what I'm talking about. But remember what I say in all of my videos. With every what, there's a connected why. Why is that happening right now? Why is that happening? I touched on it in the introduction. The funny thing is that the so-called, and I'm going to get to them in a minute, the so-called elites have been pushing fear for the longest. And now, ironically, they're the ones who are afraid. They're the ones who are afraid now. So they're pulling out their old tool set. They're pulling out the same old crusty, dusty, stale tool set to try to, same tools, just a different era, different day, same tools, different subject matter, same tools. Hey, let's make the people afraid. We ain't falling for it no more. We're not. And when I say we, I'm not saying this as a representative of the masses. I speak for myself, but there are others out there that feel the same way I do. You don't believe me? Scroll through your social media and find which channels are being shadow banned. Find which stories have to get shared via text because when they post them in their different boards or whatever, people go back and say, hey, did you see my blah, blah, blah from my board? No. It's happening, y'all. It's real. It's real. The Matrix is real. Sophia Stewart, she was a visionary. She was ahead of her time when she did wrote the books. I believe it's called The Third Eye Matrix, that became, or The Third Eye, that became the movie series The Matrix. She was ahead of her time. The Sentinels that you saw in the movie series The Matrix, they're basically these algorithms. Same thing. Anyway, why Matt? Why the new lockdowns? Why the talk of bringing back the mask mandates? Aside from there being fear, let me tell you why there's fear, all right? These so-called elites, and I'm coming to them in a minute, These so-called elites are trying to find a way to escape prophecy, as though the characters in a book can rewrite the story after the book has been published. A character that is named in a book that has a life course that is playing a part or a role in a story that has been completed and scripted cannot change that story in that book. I don't care how hard they may want to. If it were possible, they could not change it because they are not the author. There are some things that are scheduled to happen in the earth. They are happening right now. We're seeing it with the sun, okay? We're seeing it with the cosmic energy that is hitting the earth, all right? This is why they came up with this whole GW, the opposite of cooling, the opposite of worldwide cooling. Y'all stay with me. I ain't trying to trigger nothing. I ain't trying to trip nothing. The opposite of worldwide cooling. This is why they came up with this narrative, knowing good and damn well there have been periods on record where the temperature of this planet was even hotter than it is right now, and there were fewer people living there. That stuff's on record. Go look it up, y'all. Go look this stuff up. I'm not just out here just yapping. Y'all go look this stuff up. This is why you got to turn off the darn news sometimes and do your own homework, okay? Y'all know me. I'm big on doing homework. Do your homework. Do your homework. Do your own research, all right? So they push this narrative out there so that they can make you think that they're helping you by trying to spray things or stuff in the sky to block out the sunlight. Well, we need to bounce the solar radiation back off into space. How's that working out, by the way? See what I'm saying? But the truth is, these things that are happening, and y'all can look, it's all over. It is all over these streaming video platforms. It's all over social media. The cosmic energy that is hitting the earth right now is upgrading DNA. So now you understand why it is advantageous for someone who would be called the so-called elite to try to block that with a drug, which ain't a drug, it's really technology, injectable technology, to try and alter what you have inside of you so that you cannot be upgraded. Y'all wonder why a person who was a software guy is in on vaccine stuff. It ain't got anything to do with no damn philanthropy, all right? All right? Software. Computer viruses are software that are designed to rewrite existing software. Your body has existing software that you're born with, okay? Your DNA. It is software. What does software do? Software is a set of instructions that control hardware. Your DNA is a set of software instructions, natural, organic, that control your hardware. This is why your eyes are a certain color. This is why your skin is a certain color. This is why you're a certain height. This is why you are predisposed to certain types of things. All of that stuff is software. All right? But it's God's software. It is nature's software. It is the software of the cosmos. So here is an artificial, I'm going to come to that too, an artificial piece of software, artificial meaning man-made piece of software trying to rewrite God-made software. According to some accounts, it's not working out that well. So why the new set of lockdowns? It's real simple. And why now? Why now? If you understand Pluto in Aquarius, I did a video, y'all. You can look, I'll put a link in the description box. It was called The Link Between Daniel Chapter 2 and Pluto's Return to Aquarius here in 2023. I did that some months back, okay? Pluto moved into the sign of Aquarius. We started seeing what the future is going to look like for these corrupt systems. Understand what Pluto, I said this in the video, I say this in a lot of the videos where I talk about astrology. Pluto's Plutonian energy, the purpose of Pluto, okay, which is the planet that rules the 8th house, which is ruled by Scorpio, okay? Y'all stay with me. The purpose of Pluto is to destroy that which does not work and replace it with something that does. So, Pluto only destroys that which is broken. It only destroys what is not working. It is just like apoptosis in your body. Apoptosis is what? It is programmed cell death. Do all the cells in your body die as a result of apoptosis? No, only the damaged ones. Only the damaged ones. Okay? So, and then new cells that are not damaged are created. But the old cells got to go first. So that is what Pluto does. Pluto says, you know what? This doesn't work. I need to destroy it and replace it with something that does. So, when you talk about the Pluto being in Capricorn, what did you see when Pluto entered Capricorn back in 2008? You saw a whole bunch of stuff happening, stuff with banking, stuff with new wars starting. You know what I mean? All of that stuff started. Government, the big Capricornian energy is about order. It is about structure. It's about order, and that's not a bad thing. But when that structure and that order is corrupt, then when Pluto comes back around, it's like, you know what? Let's fix that. So what is the fix? What comes right behind Capricorn? Aquarius. Capricorn is about order, structure, government, that type of thing. Aquarius is like, nah, we're not doing that. Aquarius is, we're going to do the greatest good for the greatest amount of people. It is freedom. If Capricornian energy is about structure and order, then Aquarius is about freedom and finding yourself. Now I know I'm paraphrasing that, y'all can look that up. But what's on deck is Pluto. Pluto entered Aquarius earlier this year. It went retrograde back in the sign of Capricorn. And so what is happening? I know I held y'all for a while. What is happening is these so-called elites are trying to take advantage of the last little bit of time, the last couple of months. I believe Pluto was scheduled to return to Aquarius in October. It's going to come out of retrograde and go back into Aquarius in October, where it's going to spend, I guess, roughly the next 20 years. So they cannot fathom 20 years of freedom, of the people ruling and not being ruled by corrupt structures. They can't fathom that. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to nail in something that is going to allow them to pseudo maintain control until Pluto leaves Aquarius. So they're technically thinking that they're outsmarting the Most High, but the Most High just laughs. So here's the comedy in it. The comedy is you cannot stop these ordinances, as the Most High calls them in the book of, I believe it's Jeremiah or Isaiah, one of the two. I have to look it up. I'll probably put a thing on the screen here. They are not going to overcome these ordinances that he put in place eons ago that move on a divine timing clock, a divine timing calendar. These ordinances cannot be stopped. So the comedy is, the more you try to stop something, the harder it's going to hit you when it hits. So that's the comedy. The comedy is they're really setting themselves up for a harder fall. They are setting themselves up for a harder fall. If they were smart, what they would do is they would try to find a way to get the hell out of Dodge. But instead, they're doubling down. Hey, we can't let the people rule. So that's what's going on. That is the reason why all of this stuff is coming back around. That's the reason why you're seeing all of this lockdown stuff coming. They're trying to get these structures nailed down before Pluto enters Aquarius, in which case Pluto is the destroyer. The energy is going to use to destroy is Aquarian. What happened the last time Pluto was in Aquarius? Y'all go watch that video. The last time Pluto was in Aquarius, you had 3 major world revolutions. The Haitian Revolution, and this is in no particular order, the Haitian Revolution, the American Revolution, and the French Revolution. This stuff is already happening. Y'all, they just don't put it in mainstream media. Look up what's happening in France right now. Look at what just happened in Niger. People are getting tired of corrupt rule. There's nothing wrong with rules when they're not corrupt and they don't harm people. There's nothing wrong with that. Who would say no to that? Who would say no to structure as long as it's useful? But when structure benefits the few and harms the many, Pluto says, nah, that don't work. That's got to go. That's coming with Pluto and Aquarius. As soon as Pluto comes out of this Capricorn retrograde and goes back into Aquarius, boom, it's turning back on, and it ain't going to turn off until these things have been redone. We saw it again. We saw it back in the 1700s. It's time again. Pluto takes 200 some odd years to complete a cycle. I believe it's 240 years that it takes for Pluto to complete a cycle. One one zodiac cycle. From one sign to that same sign again takes 240 years. So they cannot imagine losing control, because what does that do? You saw what happened to, I ain't gonna even, look, y'all go watch that video. So that was the first thing I wanted to talk about. The reason why they're doing all of this stuff is they're trying to nail a system in place for this last little bit of time, these last few months that Pluto is in Capricorn, because they know that when Pluto hits Aquarius, if they don't have their locked down, it's over for them. Well, I'm here to tell you it's over for them anyway. The link between Daniel chapter 2 and Pluto return to Aquarius. Y'all go watch that video. What is written is going to be. God said he puts forth his word and it does not return void. So I don't care how much power you think you got down below. It is as above, so below, not as below, so above. They trying to flip that. They trying to make it as below, so above. You see the foolhardiness in that? This is why I said if they were smart, they'd be trying to get the heck out of Dodge, or they'd be trying to make some kind of penance. They'd be trying to repent. But you know, they I don't know, man. It goes back to the Star Wars video I just did. This is an age-old war between the dark side and the Force. Y'all go watch that video. I'll put a link in the description box to that one. Star Wars. Let me write that down. All right, got it. Now, why, Matt? Why did you say the so-called elite? Let me tell you the truth about the elite. That term, elite. All right. Elite should really be an adjective, but it is treated like it is a pure noun. For example, Michael Jordan is an elite basketball player. Floyd Mayweather is an elite boxer. Okay? Serena Williams is an elite tennis player. Terrence Crawford is an elite boxer. Now, let me get out of sports because not everybody follows sports. I don't know, just whoever the world chess master is, they're an elite chess player, okay? Someone is maybe, some surgeon somewhere in the world is an elite surgeon. This person over here, they're an elite scientist, okay? This company over here is an elite home building company. They have a top of the line product. Elite should be used as an adjective, but in today's date and time, it has become just a pure standalone noun. You are talking about a group of people that are labeled elite. Well, what is elite about them? Let's start there. What's elite about them? What's elite about them? What makes them elite? Are they elite liars? Are they elite at manipulating mankind? I guess that would make them elite, but where else are they elite? Are they better than you? Name any person, you know, the popular, one of the first names that seems to come to mind when people say elite is Bill Gates. Is Bill Gates better than you? Let's break that down for a minute. Is he better than you? Like mano a mano, you know, put him and you on an island, take him away from get him out of whatever his comfort zone is. You get out of your comfort zone, and you and him, they're same conditions. Is he elite? Depends on what your definition of elite is. Is his intelligence elite to yours? What's the mark of intelligence? By some accounts, he was inferior to Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. Why? Because they built a quality product out the gate. How long did it take for Windows to get stable? Windows 95 was problematic. Windows 3.1.1, it was problematic. I think by most accounts, by many accounts, I shouldn't say most, by many accounts, and I'm someone who worked in software support for a very long time, by many accounts, Windows didn't get solid until Windows XP. And I'm talking about the desktop. I'm not getting into the server edition. Windows NT4 was pretty good. Windows 2000 was better, and blah, 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 blah. I'm not getting into the server edition. I'm talking about desktop standalone computers. By many accounts, Windows didn't get nice until Windows XP. How long did it take? When was Windows XP released? In 2001 or something? 2000, 2001? That's a long way away from when the company Microsoft was started. So how long did it take to get something that was considered, hey, man, they finally got it right over there? Where's he elite? Because he got more money? What's going to happen when the Most High destroys this monetary system that was created by the ancient Babylonians as a method of control. And it's been working pretty damn good since then. Can take a strong man, a weak man, money can take a weak man and make a strong man work for him. I'm talking about physically. I'm talking about on a world where if there were no infrastructure per se, there were no banks, there were no system of monetary fiat currency exchange, you're talking about sweat equity, the ability of a man to produce goods or obtain goods and then trade them just off his physical strength alone. Now we talking elite now. Man, that dude right there, man, that dude a beast, man. This one, he all right, man. He need to get his weight up. What makes the elite elite? The thing that makes the elite elite is us calling them elite. Stop calling these so-called elites elite and start calling your next door neighbor elite. Call yourself elite. Look in the mirror and say, I'm elite. I am elite. I'm elite at what? I'm elite at whatever it is I do. Y'all learn your birth chart. I keep saying this. Know yourself. When you know how you're made and what you came here to do, when you know and understand who you are and what you came here to do, then you're on your way to being elite. You're on your way to being elite. The reason why many of us don't reach elite status is because we wait for someone outside of us to tell us who we are or what it is we're supposed to do. If you want to be elite, learn who you are, one, and then learn what you came here to do, number two. A lot of that can be found by knowing your natal chart. You can't just know, listen, you got to know the date and time you were born, and you got to know the city you were born in. That time is so important, y'all. You have to know what time you were born, because that is the money. That is the money. If you don't know the time, yeah, you can know this is my sign. Yeah, I'm a sun. I'm a this sun. I'm a this moon. My Mercury's this. My blah 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 blah. You can learn your planetary placements, but if you want to hone in on purpose, you got to know those house placements. If you want to hone in on how am I made at the microscopic level, you got to know those house placements. The only way you can know those house placements is to know what time you were born. And then run that into a natal chart calculator. And then if you need help interpreting it, there are astrologers out there that can help you interpret that. But nobody can tell you exactly what you came here to do, at least without talking with you and discussing some different aspects of your life and asking you questions based on that birth chart. Only you truly know what you came here to do. I can show my birth chart to somebody else and they can get me in the neighborhood, but without questioning me and asking me certain things about, there's certain things in your birth chart that are generational. Nobody's going to know what those generational things are if they're not in your family, but you would. Somebody in your family could help you with that. Tell me about granddad. Tell me about what grandma did for the females. Tell me about granddad did for the males. Learn your paternal and your maternal lineage. Okay? So, stop calling these people elite. When you make an image of them as elite in your mind, you're giving them energy. You're giving them the power to become elite. You're giving them the power over you. If they stand up on two legs, just like you do, man, tell them to take that elite and shove it up their fifth point of contact. I'm trying to keep it clean. That's what we said in the military, fifth point of contact. All right? So, that's the truth about the so-called elite. The truth about the so-called elite is that they're only elite because they're the 1% and have 99% of the rest of the population looking at them like they're elite and calling them elite. Oh, these elites. They're not elite over you. What makes them elite? Before you call somebody else elite, ask yourself what makes them elite. I can tell you Michael Jordan's an elite basketball player. He's got the track record to prove it. I can tell you Terrence Crawford is an elite boxer. He's got the track record to prove it. I can tell you that Albert Einstein was an elite scientist. He's got the track record to prove it. Historical documents prove it. I can tell you that Nikola Tesla was an elite scientist, an elite mind. I can tell you that the ancient Egyptians were elite builders of society. I can tell you that they were elite thinkers. I can tell you they were elite philosophers. I can tell you that the ancient Israelites were elite warriors, even though the history books aren't going to tell you that. What made them elite? The God they served. It's real simple. The God they served endowed them with something special and extra, and he said he was going to do that. The evidence is there in Scripture, but Scripture is treated like it's allegorical, when in parts it is historical. In other parts it is allegorical, but in other parts it's historical. But the problem is the whole is treated like it's allegorical. Stop calling a mofo elite without knowing what it is that makes them elite. And don't just say, well, because they got the most money. If you could print money, you'd be elite too. Just saying. And last but not least, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. Let's talk about artificial intelligence. First off, when you ask yourself the question about artificial, what is artificial? Listen, family, if there's ever anything that you do not quite understand, try to look at what the opposite is. Because understanding the opposite can give you an idea of what the thing that you're looking at is. If you don't know what a man is, you don't understand men, then look at the opposite. Look at women. And looking at women and knowing that they're opposite men can give you some relative insight into what a man is. So what is artificial? If you don't know what artificial is, then just look at, okay, well, what is natural? Let's talk about artificial intelligence. Quiz question, pop quiz. Is intelligence a masculine or a feminine energy? If you answered masculine, you're in your ego. Intelligence is a product of chakra number 6, which is a feminine energy zone. Okay? Now, you'll hear things like emotional intelligence too and stuff like that. That's also a feminine energy zone, all right? You may say, oh, creative intelligence. Oh, you know what? That's a feminine energy zone too. Chakra number 2. Chakra number 4 is the heart. Chakra number 2 is the sacral chakra. Chakra number 6 is the third eye chakra. Okay? So intelligence is a product of the third eye chakra. It can also be a product of the heart chakra. It can also be a product of the sacral chakra. Intelligence is feminine energy. So, if natural intelligence is a feminine energy, then that must mean that artificial intelligence is masculine energy. Masking itself. Artificial is a mask. It's always a mask. If you're eating artificial meat, it's not real meat. If you're eating plant-based chicken nuggets, then they're not chicken nuggets, they're plant. Stop it already. Stop it. Just call it veggie nuggets, call it veggie patties, call it veggie mash, breaded and fried. Artificial intelligence. If intelligence is a feminine energy, then it must mean that artificial intelligence is masculine energy. Okay? So, why is that important? We are in an age, the age of Aquarius. We know that Aquarius is masculine energy, but what did I say in my video about cosmic update or something like that? I'll put a link in the description box. There'll be a title on the bottom of the screen here. What did I say in that video? I said that whatever the age of the cosmos is, the opposite, whatever that energy is that matches that age, the opposite energy is the dominant energy on the planet. So if the age of Pisces, if Pisces is a feminine energy, which it is, then during the age of Pisces, masculine energy rules on the earth. That's how you get your yin yang. That is how you get your complete 360. You can't have two matching energies. You can't have a matching energy in the cosmos that matches the energy in the earth. It's got to be counterbalanced. So, during the age of Pisces, masculine energy ruled. Now that we're moving into the age of Aquarius in the cosmos, feminine energy rules. Always got to have that yin yang for balance. You got to have that yin yang for balance. So, why is this important? Artificial intelligence is an attempt to hold on to masculine control of the earth realm. That is what it is. It is an attempt to hold on to masculine control of the earth realm. So for folks who are touting this artificial intelligence like it's the next greatest thing, give me that natural intelligence. Especially with the earth moving into a feminine dominated age here on the earth. Age of Aquarius, feminine energy rules in the earth. When I say feminine energy, for y'all men that want to get in your ego and stuff, that don't mean that some woman gonna be browbeating you with a stick or something like that, okay? Physically speaking, masculine energy will always be dominant over feminine energy. But guess what? In an age that is ruled by feminine energy, that masculine energy is checked. The problem with this past age is that the masculine energy got out of check. And this is how this stuff happens. Listen, during the age of what was it, Aries? During the age of Aries, feminine energy ruled in the planet. What happens with all of these things? These things move in waves, okay? Up and down, up and down. These things move in waves, okay? Masculine energy got out of check during the age of Taurus. So then the age of Aries took over, and then feminine energy ruled. Feminine energy got out of check, and then the age of Pisces came and masculine energy ruled. It had its beginning, it hit its peak, and then it started to decline. Now, masculine energy is out of control. Look at what's happening, all these wars around the planet, all this fighting, all of this abuse of women and children. What's abuse of animals? Abuse of the earth, cutting down all of these trees. That's masculine energy harming feminine energy. The earth is feminine. I don't care what you say. You don't believe it's feminine? Drop a seed in it and see what happens. See how long it takes for the earth to give birth to some food or some beautiful flower or something like that. Artificial intelligence is fake feminine energy. Artificial intelligence is fake feminine energy. Why? Because intelligence is a feminine energy. So it is an attempt by the so-called elites who created it, to hold on to power using masculine energy. But it is time for the masculine energy to fall back, to go into a trough, so that the feminine energy can rise to a peak, just like the ocean. This stuff moves in waves. 3,000 years from now, it'll be masculine energy returning in the earth, but righteous masculine energy. This stuff moves in waves. It starts out righteous, it gets drunk with power, and then it declines. This stuff moves in waves, y'all. This is why you can't get upset and you can't really overthink stuff. Just understand how this reality works, and then understand yourself. Artificial intelligence, it's an attempt to hold on to masculine control of this planet. It's going away. I'm not saying that artificial intelligence is going to go away. I mean, obviously, we're entering the age of Aquarius, and Aquarian energy is about technology and, efficiency and that sort of thing, and good for all. So I'm not saying that our computer's going to go away. I don't think so. I mean, no. I mean, and again, you can watch the video I did where I was talking about the ancient rulers of Petra or whatever. Listen, they had running water in a pipeline that went 5 miles uphill to get to where Petra, aka Nabatea, aka Nabataya, was, okay? Out of the valley of Moses, out of the spring of Moses, all the way up 5 miles through some rocky cliffs and stuff to get up into there and basically turn a desert city into an oasis. Y'all can watch that video. I'll put a link in there too. So, why did I bring that up? Oh yeah, just talking about technology. So the point I was trying to make was technology. Listen, we got to get away from these false narratives that they push in the education system. Some of these previous civilizations, some of these ancient civilizations, they were more advanced, far more advanced than we are today. They still cannot replicate the building of the pyramids. They still can't replicate it. But we're so technologically advanced. And we believe this lie that, Hebrew slaves carried these huge things up. I personally think that they used, I'm not even gonna say it. I got my idea of how those things were put into place. And it would be mind blowing, but I'm gonna keep that to myself. But I don't think it was manual labor that did that. Let me just say that. I'm gonna leave it at that. So that's all I got, family. What's really behind AI is men, masculine energy, dark masculine energy, trying to suppress the rise of feminine energy in the earth. And it's not going to happen. It's not going to work. It is not going to work. The harder you push against prophecy, the more you speed it up. You can't stop prophecy. When you try, you speed it up. It's like those movies where you see these thriller movies where there's a time bomb ticking and somebody's got to go and defuse it. But to defuse it, they got to cut the right wire. Because if they cut the wrong wire, it accelerates the clock and then boom. That is what's happening right now with them trying to stop prophecy. When you try to stop prophecy, all you do is speed it up. What you should be doing is trying to get in alignment and matching the energy. The frequency, the vibrational frequency of the earth is rising. Why would you want to stay in low vibrational frequency? How does that work? How well does that work? This is why I always talk about this vibrational chart, family. That is the easiest cheat sheet you can use to raise your energetic levels. Map your emotion to where that is in that chart. If it's below center, move it up. Move it up. Start with courage. Have the courage to climb out of whatever that low vibrational emotional state is. And then be mindful of where you are at all times. I'm not going to say that you're not going to dip down below and go into low vibrational energy. It's dark sometimes, it's light sometimes. It was a lot lighter when I started this video. Now it's getting darker. You're gonna dip down in low vibrational energy at some point, perhaps. But spend more time in high vibrational energy. The more you get used to being in high vibrational energy, the easier it will be to stay in high vibrational energy. Ask anybody who works out. Ask any elite athlete how easy it is for them to stay in shape once they hit being in shape. And people say, man, that person works out all the time. Yeah, they know how hard it was for them to get to where they are, so they don't want to lose that momentum. They don't want to go back to when they were 150 pounds overweight. It was too hard for them to get to where they are now. So you're like, man, that person's always working out. Yeah, because they know they have made it easy for themselves. Okay, the hard work is over. All I have to do is maintain. It's the same with your vibrational frequency. Once you learn what you need to do to come out of low vibrational frequency, it's easier to stay out of low vibrational and stay high vibrational. But you got to have the courage to come out of whatever it is that's keeping you down. That's all I got, family. I'm gonna wrap this video up. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel and you like being inspired, motivated, entertained, educated, hit that subscribe button and be sure to turn your notification bell on so that you'll receive the updates receive notifications when I upload a new video. I'll end this video like I end them all, and you guys can tell my eyes are getting red. It's getting about that time for me to get ready to go chill out. So tell somebody you love them and meet it, family. You guys know I love you. I'll tell you that all the time. The best way to show someone, the best way to express love is to show it. You can say it, but if you're not showing it, then the words are empty. The best way to express love is to show it. Okay? How do you, what do I say? Y'all, I'm getting tired. Love is a verb, all right? Okay? It's a noun as well, but when we focus on the verb, the noun always takes care of itself. I love you guys. Peace.